This is Jason. Well, this is Jason Shatner, aka Wolfphototech. And recently, I know I said I was going to do a video talking about fake gamers and other stuff like that. But I'm going to cover this first, and then I will do that another day. Recently, recently, the GameStop CEO has mentioned that the PlayStation VR is planned or states is probably coming out later this year and not in the first half of this year, as Sony has originally stated prior. This could be due to many things. This could be due this could be part of the fact that the head of Sony's VR studios has left for greener pastures. However, I'm just doing this thing for a different effect. Yeah, I have to be careful about doing voices. Excuse my with my breathing. Uh, First of all, recent news about the. I already stated in the previous video that the a CEO, the head of the VR studios, has left, and then there's also the fact that Oculus Rift is $600, and everyone blew their fucking mind. Not considering the fact that VR technology is has always been very expensive. Uh yeah. It's always been expensive. Thinking that VR tech is gonna be less than $600 is just ludicrous. It's almost as crazy as Kanye West becoming broke. Imagine that. Uh, or the fact that the Fine Brothers thought they could get away with it by trying to force everyone into slave labor and work for them. But according, as I said, the GameStop CEO has stated that the PlayStation VR is believed to be coming out later this year, possibly in the fourth quarter of 2016, and that is quite a bit difference between the first half of the year in which what Sony has stated prior. And as I said, the head of their studio has left, and people freaked out when they saw the price of the Oculus Rift, which was $600. This is my general theory as to why the PlayStation VR has not been announced for release and price. When Sony noticed that people freaked out over the Oculus Rift. Sorry, I can't do Oculus Rift with that accent. Uh, Sony had a sudden realization that if if they are going to launch the PlayStation VR, they are going to have to somehow find a way to keep the price down, and they are going to have to blitzkrieg the fuck, sorry for the swear word, out of it. They're gonna have to put a large marketing effort behind it. They're gonna have to get a lot of games, a lot of really good games right off the bat, put them out, advertise the crap out of them. Sorry for the swear word. And they are only gonna have maybe the first good chance because odds of a add-on in the console space kind of fall off very badly as the price goes up. Historically, pretty much any add-on north of $50 in the case of consoles, in the case of consoles, any add-on north of $50 fails to have critical penetration in Western markets. Japan is another thing. That's another situation over there. Here in the United States and in Europe, typically if an add-on is more than $50 or it's not packed in with a bunch of games, it fails. It fails hardcore. Now, the probability of the PlayStation VR being $300, I keep seeing people on YouTube and on Google Plus and on Facebook, whenever the PlayStation VR comes up, they instantly want to put down a price of $300. And at that point, they're even wishy-washy on wanting it at not at $50, $300, $300 and up. So they're thinking in the $300 market there. And all probability of it being $300 is, this is my favorite joke, is this much. It's this much. That is Sony taking a huge bloodbath on the price. This is the likelihood of it being $300. Without games included, no controllers included, $300. Just the headset. You're going to need the PlayStation camera for it. And many demos show off. Hold on for a moment. Many demos of the PlayStation VR typically show off this little beauty right here. Remember this? You push this button, it shakes, and then you insert it into the rectum, and it just vibrates like crazy. And it lights up. It turns people into human light bulbs. Many games use this. Many games use the camera. Well, a lot of the games use the camera. The PlayStation camera is essential for tracking various motions. It aids in the whole system. So $300 just for the head, in theory, just for the headset, not with all the other stuff you need for it, is super unlikely. Oculus has stated that they are not making money on each unit of the Oculus Rift. And it's priced at basically $600. People, please think about this. The Oculus Rift, just the headset, a game, I think it comes with 2 games. Lucky's Tale and what's that other one? Yeah. And it comes with an Xbox controller, so that's $50 right there. $50 right there. You know what? I discovered this thing on my TV. If I push these buttons, it goes to these screens where there is moving images, kind of like movies, but they're shorter. They're called like channels. They have like letter number designations. I'm like, what the fuck? I was just screwing around between playing video games one day, and I just came across this strange set of channels with tiny movies on them. If anyone has ever come across those before, please tell me about your stories. But yeah, the Oculus Rift is at that magical point where VR technology is functional, but is not exceedingly over the top. They pack in a controller, they're not making money on it, on the physical unit, they're selling at a loss or no profit, according to them, and it comes with 2 games. Now, this thing, the Oculus Rift, plugs into a moderately powerful PC, which is not a PlayStation 4. A PlayStation 4 is median below. It is at the middle, just below the middle. That's where it is. And that's where the Xbox One is. And the Wii U's just below that, but very optimized. The Wii U is very optimized. A lot of games for the Wii U is 1080p at 60 frames per second or 1080p at 30 frames per second. That's very key. Nintendo puts a lot of effort into optimizing their stuff. But the fact of the matter is, this didn't go very far. This is an accessory controller. I happen to buy this at a reduced price. This does not cost a lot of money. I'm not joking. You see that. I got it at $50. It was originally $69. Sony is trying to bring something to the market that the likelihood of it being $300 is this much. $400 maybe further out. $500, we're not quite there. $600, you know what? That's doable. Sony's losing money, but it's doable. It's $700, $800. You know, like that rumor, that accidental posting by Amazon, $800 US. That is a very good chance. And that may not have been an actual posting. That may have actually been a legitimate posting by Amazon with correct numbers. And then Sony realized, holy shit, people freaked out about the Oculus Rift being $600. And Sony does not have the capacity to lose money. They really don't. If they make... I'm packing this away because who plays with a Move controller? If I want to wiggle around, I'll get my Wiimotes out. But, seriously, I'm a collector. That's why I have this. I got my Sega Dreamcast in a box. That's why I have that. Sometimes I pull it out and play it. This, no. But, all probability, bringing my kitty Orange into the picture. You are a doofus. All probability is the PlayStation VR is not going to be below $400. It's not going to be below $500. If Sony prices it in that range, they are going to be in the same place as they were with the PlayStation 3. They're going to be losing $300 on every unit they make. Sony really can't afford losing $300 every unit they make. The PlayStation... You are a doofus. See, he's a Hemingway, and he has extra claws, so he has a hard time in letting go of stuff. But anyways, so the likelihood of the PlayStation VR being cheap, I mean, cheap as in like $400 or $500, is not likely. It is very wishful thinking. If Sony sells it at that range, they are most definitely almost certifiably guaranteed to be losing money on that system. Which means that if people buy it and don't buy a lot of games for it or a lot of apps for it, Sony is pretty screwed over on it. And that is quite possibly the reason why we have not heard an actual release date and actual price for the PlayStation VR. Is because Sony realized, holy shit, we have something that is too expensive for the market we're trying to sell to, and that's not good. On another note, I've mentioned this, and I had to remind people on Google Plus and various other places in comments sections of other postings when they said, that's not a lot of money. I have to remind you, this is for a console, not a PC. PC gamers, $400, $500, $600. Upgrade, standard issue. That's what PC gamers do. They buy a system, they buy a bunch of components, they build a system that they want to do it quality, and then every year or every 2 or 3 years, they buy a new part. $70 here, $150 there, $400 there. They buy upgrades here and there for their system. Console gamers are console gamers because we want to buy the system, we get the system, we put the game in the system, we play it. We don't want to have to worry about upgrading or adding anything new to the system. If if that was not an issue right there, we would be PC gamers. But we're not. And that is a very important point to put there. Simple as that. PC gamers used to upgrading their stuff. Console gamers are console gamers because we want to just put the game in and play. We want to put it in and enjoy the game. We don't want to spend time updating drivers, upgrading graphics cards, or putting better RAM in, or a new CPU in, or any of that stuff. I am not joking. So when a PC gamer says $300, $400, $500, that's not a big deal. They're acclimated. Magical word there. Acclimated to forking over $300, $400, $500, $600 just for upgrade. Just so they can play a few more games than they could before. And that's it. So this is one of those things I've said a few times before. It's very important for a PC gamer to sometimes sit down and listen to a console gamer explain why a console gamer is a console gamer. What do we enjoy about consoles? What is the reasons why we don't enjoy PCs? And console gamers have to sit down and listen to PC gamers talk about what's awesome about PCs and what's bad about PCs. And we kind of have to give and take, Well, thank you for watching my video. Feel free to subscribe. Please subscribe, actually. Please vote. Please comment. And please share. All those things help out. Not to mention, it takes me a step closer to not losing an incredible amount of money every time I do this stuff. Because I'm seriously losing money every video I make. Why I'm losing money every video I make? Well, between views versus megabytes and gigabytes uploading, the cost of the megabytes and gigabytes has so far exceeded every video I've ever made. So every video I've ever put up, is automatically in the hole on cost. I might make a few cents on one video, but it cost me $2 to upload it. Pennies, dollars. Cost is dollars, earnings is pennies. So feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Share it with the world. I'm sharing this with you. You take this video and share it with everyone else. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.